I know that this topic can be really, really controversial, but I'm still going to talk about it. And let's get straight into this. Hi, my name is Alina, and I'm a professional therapist and a mystic. And I help people in terms of manifestation their best reality, women with their femininity, and with money and abundance mindset. So, what is a negative entity and negative entities attachment? As a psychologist, I can say that all of this topic is connected with our traumas and negative blockages within us that influence on our life. As from my mystic side, I can say that they do exist. People need to pay attention on it because it directly influences on their life. I have a lot of personal experience with negative entities. I had attachments before and I know how I feel if I'll get the attachment. And I worked with people one-on-one where it looked like literally like exorcism. So a negative entity is an entity that exists on the non-physical realm, in the astral plane. That's why people who don't have psychic abilities, they don't see it, they think they're maybe moody or something else. But it's not true because they literally exist, and if you have psychic abilities, you know it, right? So how does it look like? There's this negative entity that's being attached to your aura or even to your body. And if it's attached to your body, it's even worse because in these areas, you probably have a really difficult disease that can probably not be healed by the regular doctors. And I'm not saying that I'm against it. No, I'm not saying this at all. If you need the medical help, please get it. But here I'm talking about something else, about the spiritual point of view. Because I had real cases with my clients when they went to doctors and nothing worked for them. And after just one session with me, they healed completely. And the entities, they can be in different form, in different shapes. They can be even demons in someone's field. And by the way, some people who are interested in black magic, they communicate with them, they ask them for help, they give them something in return. Yeah, this also exists and it's valid information. So this is mostly how they look like. The signs of the negative entities attachment. And now I'll talk about this through my experience, my personal experience when I had attachments. One time I had a session with my therapist who were also some kind of mystic. So it was really like exorcism because when I was talking to her, it wasn't me who were talking and my voice was different. Yes, it sounds scary, no? But then by the end of the video, you won't be scared because you will understand how it works. And what happened before the session, I'll give you the whole view, the whole situation. So first of all, you feel not quite yourself. You're being mostly on the negative frequency. So you're being in the frequency of fear, survival, guilt, shame, resentment, and all of these feelings. It's a really negative state you're being in usually, and you don't even notice it maybe. You may feel that you are a victim of the circumstances you're in and you can't change anything here. Like that's the mindset, like you know that something is wrong, but you don't have the power to change even a thing. And that's really scary because maybe you even know that you are a victim now, but you really have no capacity, you really have no energy to change a thing. In general, you're being in such kind of state. The next thing I had was that it was so difficult to sleep at night. Like I barely slept, literally. Like I couldn't sleep at all. Like I was always waking up, and by the way, I was waking up at 3 a.m. every night. It was really strange. I felt like I was going crazy and I couldn't sleep in the darkness. So I needed some lighting on near me, beside me, near my bed to finally sleep even for a bit. And if you have a sleep paralysis, it means that you also have an attachment, because the entity you see when you are in sleep paralysis, like you can move, you are sleeping, but you can move, and you see this thing that is being around. This is your negative entity in your energetic field. So disturbing sleep is also another sign of a negative entity's attachment. And there can be many entities in your field, by the way. They can be small, or they can be big, they can be like a demon, because they have their own hierarchy. The next sign is that you can start get the addictions, like drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and you can start having some really crazy bad ideas in your head. And you know that it's crazy, but you feel like you're pulled into this, and you kind of enjoy it. And it's not that you are enjoying it, it's an entity that is enjoying it through you. You have to understand it. Every time you drink alcohol or smoke, you attract these entities in your field because they feel the same frequency they're being on. And when you feel the urge to smoke or to drink alcohol, it's actually, again, this negative entity that wants to do it through you. It's not you who want it. You don't want to smoke. People in general, when they are clean, their energy is clean. They don't want that. They don't need that at all. And in general, your thoughts can be really disturbing, really unsettling. You can think the thoughts that you are not usually thinking of. Like to do something really extreme and disturbing to other people. And again, it's not your thoughts. Because these entities, they are getting your energy when you do some crazy shit like this. And I think you understand what I'm talking about. Like every maniac, every psychopath, they have entities. And that's why they do what they do, because that's why they enjoy it, because they think they enjoy it. But it's actually their demonic entity who is enjoying it, not them. Your soul, any soul, it's impossible for a soul to enjoy such kind of things. So in general, a person who has a negative entities attachment is a person who has really dark, negative vibe, and you feel like you've been drained, your energy is being drained. You can't even have an eye contact with the person because you feel so uncomfortable and disturbing when you do that. And if a person has it, they feel like something is draining them. The next level of entity attachment is when one has some diseases that can be healed, like at all. They're always sick, or maybe they will heal and again they're sick. Next thing we'll talk about, why does it happen? As I mentioned before, we are all living in the different frequencies, and they define what kind of timeline we are choosing and where we're going to in our lives. So these entities, they exist at a really low vibrational scale. Fear, guilt, shame, resentment, frustration, anger, but in a negative way. So these are their main emotions they are living in. If some individual lives in the same type of frequency, they have the victim mindset, they live in this negativity, in the dirt. And by the way, if you live in the dirt, your place is dirty, you live very close, that it also means that the entities can be really easily attracted to you, to your place and your house, by the way. So this type of energy, it attracts them because it's their field. That's what they are used to. And they find what is equal to them. So it's the law of attraction, basically. If you want to change your life and you understand that you have something, you have to change your frequency, you have to start working on yourself, you have to start working on your mindset, you have to start feeling and thinking that glass is half full. Other case, which is really interesting, one time I had a meeting, and the meeting was in a really disturbing place for me, like energetically. It was a fancy restaurant with fancy food, but I felt so unsettling there. I couldn't even explain why. And I was in this place at around maybe 30 minutes, and after I went home, and I felt like something was draining me, seriously. I had so many negative thoughts about everything. I had so much negativity in me that I didn't have before I went to this place. Why did it happen? Because before, I had, some kind of dark spot in my aura. So when I went to this place, which was filled fully with the negative entities of other people, and just in general, the place had this vibe. So they were attracted to this spot in my aura. So that's how the negative entities attachment happen when you talk to someone, when you be in some place with negative energy. It doesn't happen like randomly, because if you have God in your heart and you follow the rules of spirituality, you will probably never get the attachment, because there is nothing to be attached to, That's how it works. And if you, for example, will drink alcohol, smoke a cigarette, watch a horror movie, so the entity will find their exit through you, to you, through you, in your body, because you let them. You lowered your frequency and they match this frequency, and that's why attachment happens. I hope you understood my point, because that's really important one. Understanding to how not to get this attachment. So you have to change your life, because if you're living in this type of state every day, you're not experiencing probably the life your soul wants, because the soul's frequency is the frequency of love, of joy, bliss, oneness. It's not the frequency I mentioned. So this is the first thing you have to understand in terms of your personal cleansing and not having this kind of attachment anymore. So the first thing, work on your mindset, change your mindset, work on yourself, on your energy. Take care of yourself. The second thing, take care of yourself, your aura, and just in general, keep it clean. Negative entity can't be in your field if you are on the high frequency of love, bliss, and so on. My personal recommendation, what you can do right now, if you have realized that yes, you have this attachment, ask your higher self, ask your angels to help you to release this negativity from your field. Like ask them from your soul, from your heart, that you really want it, and they will help you, seriously. And these negative entities, they work with you. Yes, they do work with you based on the contracts. They exist in a spiritual plane. So what you can do now, you can say this thing, repeat after me. I revoke all of the agreements I have with the negative entities in my field. I call my power back to me. I call my energy back to me. That's God's will that is speaking through me right now. And maybe you can notice that something has changed. And yes, these entities, they take your power and energy. They are living because of your power and energy. They're like parasites. They don't exist on their own. They exist only based on someone's energy. And some people in the reality, they are living the same type of lifestyle. So that's why we have to become conscious creators and create our life, to give, to share, and not to just consume, to not just taking everything and more, taking more. No, we have to give. And that's the plan God gave us. I hope that helped you. Please comment. What do you think? How you felt? What you have realized? If you want to work with me personally, you can write down to me on my Instagram or email. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and see you.